The voice you're hearing, the lady giggling ni Susan Nafula, anakuwa ama anafanya kazi pale National Council for Persons with Disabilities. I got it right this time.
Yeah, you did.
Hizi miaka zote umepractice sheria
Yeah.
ukifanya kazi na NCPD
PWD.
WD. I forgot the W. Oh my god. NC
PWD.
yeah.
Shortcut.
How has it made you view gender-based violence? How has it impacted your life such that ukiulizwa definition ya gender-based violence ni nini?
Okay, so in my time in different arenas and different organizations, I came to realize that at NCPWD, my clients, the persons with disability, they are mostly the vulnerable ones. They are mostly subjected to gender-based violence. And it's not only for women, but also for the men. Because I get it's the aspect of vulnerability. Somebody is vulnerable enough to accept some few things which are not acceptable. Just because they feel not their self-awareness and also their self-esteem is low. So they'll say, since he decided or she decided to be with me and I have this disability or I have these shortcomings, I shall be able to just take it as it is because I need him or her to actually love me or be with me so that I can feel whole. So now for my clients, the persons with disability, it goes beyond the aspect of physical violence. It's also mental violence, psychological violence, and then you find sometimes it becomes an abusive in the sense of words, abusive in the sense of physical abuse. So now I think for gender-based violence for both men and women, it always comes down to vulnerability, self-awareness, and self-worth. So if you find yourself you don't have those three key things, you'll find yourself being prone or being subjected to it because you will accept it because of that particular insufficiency in yourself.
Yani, that is one human being making another human being feel evil.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Why do you think women voices are important in the fight against SGBV and generally as a whole in this society of ours?
I think for women's voices for GBV, I feel it has to be inclusive because now we are moving away from the aspect of only women being the victims or women only being the let's call it the subjected to GBV. These days also men, but now you remember men are men. Wewe ni mwanaume, vumilia kama mwanaume, do not say anything, do not preach or do not even talk, even ikitoka kwa nyumba ni hivyo. So now I feel women should speak out, not only for the girl child or for the women or for the general aspect of the gender. They speak it as a whole and inclusive things because now also children are being subjected to gender-based violence, the youth also. So I think we need the gender-based violence aspect and approach should be inclusive in the sense of catering for all the needs for everyone because everybody is going through different things. Then everybody has to be aware, self-aware of the things that are hidden in the closed doors of, yeah.
How can we ensure that women's voices and experience are heard and valued in the decision-making process, sana sana kwa kwenye kazi ama tu generally as a whole kwa community?
I think for women we have done not a lot, but at least we have organized ourselves in regards to groupings and also in regards to voicing out our challenges and also voicing out our experiences. But now we need to do more in the sense of not only educating the public in regards to women problems, but also educating on how we can be able to create a generation that does not tolerate gender-based violence. So in the decision makings, we can be able to sit down with the forum and be as inclusive as possible in regards to what we need and what we require. And then there's also the aspect of not only research but also campaigns. We can do campaigns. We can do it's called what, talk shows, or create different arena of what we have been doing, and just try to be innovative in our way on approaches, and also try to find not only pinpointing the problems but also finding a lasting solution, because you can have a problem that is long lasting for generation, but you put a bandage on it, the bandage itatokana, ukiweka maji ukiridi itatoka. So now we need a long term or as a sustainable way of approaching the issue of gender based violence, and women also finding a way of not only discussing it but also finding a way of mitigating, because mitigating is the best, or preventing it from ever happening. So now we need to see what's on the cards, and then now we review the cards for sustainability.
Yeah, I like the way umesema hiyo idea ya unataka kutengeneza puncture using a sellotape.
Exactly.
Civil society. Yeah, a community of people linked to common interests and collective activity. Hiyo ndo most times utaambiwa ndi definition yao. But me most times nikisikia the word civil society, people like you, practitioners of the law, come into mind.
Okay.
So how do you think you and your learned fellows can address SGBV, that is sexual and gender-based violence, when especially mahali penye kuna lack of law enforcement, ama sheria is a little bit grey, or sheria iko yes, si hata grey, but haifanyi kazi.
Okay. So hatuwezi sema sheria haifanyi kazi, tutaweza sema tu the justice process is slow.
Or maybe we could say sheria haikui applied.
Okay, so yeah, sometimes it's not applied because of maybe the mechanisms that are there, depending on the particular area. There are those mechanisms, for example, that you can find where culture and the law conflict. So you may say under the law this is wrong, this is whatever, but it's acceptable under as a particular culture. So now when that comes, the clash between the culture and the law, that's where now enforcement becomes an issue. Because for example, if we are doing an assessment or anything in regards to maybe SGBV, for example, if a man or if a woman alleges that her husband has raped her, ukipeleka hiyo kitu kwa polisi atakwambia hiyo ni shida za nyumbani, you get. But actually it does not mean that we are married. The certificate now gives you the right to actually abuse me in any way that you feel like, right? So now you see there's the marriage, there's the law enforcement, and now there's the aspect of privacy. So now if things are conflicting, that's when now you see enforcement will be an issue. And then now, as much as you try to as the legal practitioners try to strike a balance, we are always shifted to the aspect of the law. We cannot put our feelings above the law, because what the law says is what the law says. So you have to apply it. Even though you feel for the woman, or you feel for the man, or you feel for the children, that one has to be put aside, because now it is conflicting with the law of the land. And then now the mechanisms that are there, I feel we need to improve on our mechanisms in regards to enforcement, so that it does not only look at the victim themselves, it also looks at the other people who are going to be affected, other than the dynamics of the so-called victim. So now that's what I think.
Hii ni Haki FM, Oasis of Justice.